Hello everyone, back to tuning in to today's third and final video. We're going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's final video. Day 10 will take us to the 20th of February, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles because they run to around a couple of weeks. So have a look at CFS V2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks, which gets us into the early stages of March. So I'll get on that for you in a second. Just to say that the first video was our 6 AM upload. We've also released European out, so please check out those two videos if you'd like to see that. Please like, share, subscribe on this, and thank you so much everybody for doing this for GavsWeatherVids. And thank you for all of your lovely messages that you've been sending in for Mrs. P since she took ill a couple of weeks ago. So she's back home now. Mrs. P is back home at GavsWeatherVids Towers. She's recuperating from the illness. It's going to be a long, slow recuperation, but we will eventually get her there, I'm sure. And yeah, so she's a lot better than she was. She's back home at GavsWeatherVids Towers, and she's recuperating. We have got a little bit of equipment for her behind me. You can perhaps hear it. So if there's a little bit of background noise in videos over the next few weeks, then that's the reason why. Just a little bit of equipment to help, you know, support her at home. That's the reason that the door is open, whereas normally it would be, you know, the door would normally be closed. So yeah, just bear with me over the next few weeks as we get Miss P better. But thank you so much, everybody, for all the incredible messages. You're all so lovely and kind all the time. Of course, I have relayed all of your messages to her, and she's absolutely thrilled and delighted. She says thank you so much for all of the lovely messages that you sent. Okay, let's have a look then. Showing central in temperature. So the CT is currently standing at 7.5, and it's 3 degrees above average. That is provisional to the 9th, yesterday to the 9th of February. These are the GFS. It's going to be a mild and average month. It's only a question of how mild it's going to get, to be honest. These are the GFS upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles. The next couple of weeks, the red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for London. We're starting up a little bit below average at the moment. We're going to see the temperature lifting up a bit at the weekend. A bit of a drop down early next week, and then very mild potentially through the middle of next week. And then after that, just generally pretty mild, to be honest, right the way towards the final stages of February. Precipitation-wise, going to be a lot of dry weather over the next few days, so it is going to turn more unsettled. So the third week of February looks more unsettled with some wind and rain to come. As far as the 2 metre temperatures are concerned, they're pretty mild. Remember, this is for London, so areas further north won't be as mild as this, but nevertheless, we start off pretty mild at the moment. It'll be cooler over the next couple of days. Into the weekend, going quite mild, but it's really early next week, but it will turn very mild into double digits with the temperature for a while through the early part of next week. And then after that, into the last days of February, just pretty mild, really then. As far as snow roam is concerned, not much doing there at all. No real snow prospects for the next week. And even beyond that, there's barely anything to be seen. Bear in mind, again, further north, this is London, so there is further north, probably have a better prospect of snow. That's Belfast, for example. So, yeah, you know, around the 17th to the 20th of February, we might get some snow into Northern Ireland, and even more so into Scotland. But for areas in the south and southeast, this is not a good pattern to be producing snow. This is a zonal pattern that will nearly always just bring cold rain, you know, to lowland southern England. Temperature anomalies on the 10th to the 18th of February are going to be milder than average. Precipitation anomalies from the 10th to the 18th of February, a little bit wetter than average for western areas, average to a bit drier than average for central, southern and eastern parts of the country. The latest wind flow map from earthnoschool.net shows that returning wind into more of a northwesterly to northerly, so it will be turning, or it has turned cooler. It will be quite cold over the next couple of days, particularly so in northern areas with a risk of overnight frost. But by weekend, we're back into milder weather. This is how the UK Met Euro run is looking at midnight on sunny. Low pressure dries off the Atlantic, bringing wet and windy weather with it. Further wind and rain as we go through into the early part of next week. Further low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic. That's how we look as we get to midnight on the 17th of February. Deep low pressure in the North Sea. Wet and windy. And yeah, very unsettled. Could be severe gales in more northern areas. Icon looks like this again. Low pressure dries off the Atlantic. We'll wrap through these very quickly. They're all much of a muchness. Low pressure's wrapping in from off the Atlantic all the way into the second half next week, looking pretty wet and windy. It's a mild pattern, especially so for more southern areas. The GFS midnight run, again, looks very unsettled with low pressure driving in from the Atlantic, often mildest in the south, often wettest in the north, but there will be some rain at times in the south as well, and on it goes. Just these westerlies, the zonality carries on all the way up to the 26th of February, which is as far as we go with the GFS midnight run. GFS 6Z again has the low pressure driving in from off the Atlantic, bringing further spells of wind and rain in from the west all the way up to the last stage of February. It gets 26th of February again, and it's just an ongoing sort of Atlantic-driven type pattern. Certainly more mobility and more unsettled than January, but it is still a really mild pattern, this, especially for the south. GM, again, is much of a muchness, wet and windy over the weekend into part of next week. Again, just looks wet and windy, Atlantic onslaught, nothing more to say. Westerlies go on. ECM, also looking like that, really unsettled with further spells of rain coming and going at times. By day 10 with the ECM, which is certainly 22nd of February, we're just about starting to build up a little bit of a ridge from the south, trying to turn a little bit drier then, but still it's an Atlantic-driven zonal pattern. This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TomedShow.com. There's going to be plenty of rain coming and going, especially so from Sunday into Monday, when England and Wales is the focus for some very wet and windy weather then, and further spells of rain through the course of next week. Will be cold enough for snow at times in the north, but the emphasis is on a lot of wet weather for Ireland, England and Wales in particular. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensembles today for day 10 from the Icelandic Met Office. Gets us to the 20th of February. 25 members of the ECM ensembles look very unsettled with low pressure in off the Atlantic along with those westerly winds. 15 raise the heights a little bit more to the south, turning a bit drier, but it is still a mild and Atlantic-driven type pattern. 11, again, with low pressure to the north, high pressure to the south, and winds in from a westerly direction, wettest in the north and driest in more southern areas. In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets 25th of February, 17 members of the ECM ensembles, again, with deep low pressure in off the Atlantic. That looks really unsettled and Atlantic-driven. 13, with high pressure to the south, low pressure east to the north, mainly dry and reasonably mild spring-like patterns in the south. With that, 12 have high pressure right over top of the country, so that's going to be the driest option, of course. And then 9 with low pressure out to our west and still come in those westerly winds, and it remains unsettled. CFSV2 finally, these are 500 millibar heights bring down to week periods. The first week period takes from the 10th to the 16th of February. The coming week is very unsettled with low pressure in off the Atlantic, along with westerlies as well. Week 2 is going to be the 17th to 23rd of February, still with low pressure around Greenland and Iceland, high pressure around Spain, winds in from the west. Week 3 will be the 24th to the 24th February, sorry, to the 2nd of March, with high pressure building from the south. Low pressure is away to the northwest. Jet stream is being pushed northwards. So driest weather that is in the south, wettest weather is in the north. And then week 4 rounds it all off. 3rd to the 9th of March, still looking very mild, very zonal, with high pressure to the south, low pressure away to the north, winds in from a west-southwesterly direction. So spring-like weather, particularly so in the south, where it will be mainly dry, could be a little bit more unsettled at times. In the north, basically no change. I could have started this video and said, hello, there's no change, goodbye. That's it really. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please smash the like button. Make sure you sub to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Don't forget to tell your friends and family about GavsWeatherVids and get them to subscribe as well. And drop a comment, let us know what you think about this and all of our videos. Thank you so much, everybody. It's incredibly kind of all of you for all the support that you give all of the time. Right, so we're done with today's content then. Just tell you what's coming up tomorrow. We will begin with a 6 AM upload, have JMA Friday and a 10 to 14 day as well. No live stream tomorrow night. I'm, going to get Miss P settled in. So for the time being, live streams are off the table. But we will have some uploads for you tomorrow. So please keep checking back for more. But for today's videos, that's all for now. And where are we? Yeah, that's all for now. And thanks for watching.